Hello. Today I'd like to talk about be active, one of the 5 ways to well-being. Notice when I said be active, I didn't say exercise. Now, exercise is really important, and if you have a routine around exercise, if you're able to maintain that, do. That might be going for a bike ride, that might be running, that might be going for a really brisk walk. If you're able to maintain that routine, then please do. You may have some gym equipment at home that you're able to utilise, and again, if you're able to do that safely, then do. But notice, it's not always about exercise. It's about being active. Now, sometimes that activity might be quite, high impact. There's some stuff that we can do on TV at the moment or online. Joe Wicks is doing a brilliant set of sort of exercise routines that we can do to raise that activity level. For those of us who maybe like a little bit more of a sedate pace, something like The Green Goddess on BBC One is great. Just increases that level of motion that we're doing, that movement that we're doing. And that's going to improve our physical and mental well-being. Thinking about that, we've got to think about the length of time that we're kind of sitting. Now, if we're working from home, chances are that we're probably spending more time at the computer than we would normally do. You might well be surprised that when we're at work, we're kind of moving about much more than we would imagine, going from maybe one meeting to another meeting or going to another place of work. We're very often standing up and moving about more than we imagine. When we're at home, though, we can be a little bit more sedentary and not move about. So it's important to be alert to that and notice that we need to stand up, maybe stretch, maybe walk about a little bit more around our flat or our home. Maybe we need to notice if we're sitting in front of the TV more than we normally would. So it can be a good idea just to think about how much TV am I watching, and is there something else I could be doing rather than sitting in front of the TV. Now on that, it's about maybe thinking about what we can do around our flat or our home. It's a great opportunity now to do that deep clean. That's certainly what my wife and I have been doing. And as a result, we've come across games, board games and quiz games that we haven't played for a long time. So we've dug those out, as I mentioned in the previous video, and we're now playing those. We're also having great fun in terms of finding some things that were once lost. We're also looking at the garden. We're lucky enough to have a garden. You may not have that, but if you do have a garden, make some time to be out in that garden, that fresh air, that preparing some of the ground for the growing season can be really important. If you don't have a garden, you might have access to some plant pots or some growing pots that you can actually do something with those. That's also a little bit of fun. It's also something we can do to take our mind and move our mind away from work. Now, it might be that looking around your house or your flat, you're noticing some little DIY jobs that need doing. I certainly am. There are a few things that I need to get on with that I've put off for quite some time. This is a great opportunity for me to do those things. And I will eventually get to them. All this is about increasing the level of activity that I'm doing in my daily life. I'm moving about. I'm doing stuff. Cleaning, cooking, DIY, the garden. All of these things have actually increased my level of activity. I've also got some apps on my phone that are useful in terms of how many steps am I doing each day. It actually monitors the movement that I'm doing, so I can keep an eye on that. I am going for a walk every day, and on my phone I've got an app that tells me how briskly am I walking. So I'm trying to get 30 minutes of brisk walking in each day. You may or may not be able to do that, but setting that little target can be really important to do. Have I maintained it? What happened? What got in the way? These are some of the questions that you can ask yourself about how do I raise my activity levels on a daily basis. If we do this, this is going to help support and maintain our sense of physical and mental well-being. Check out, as I mentioned, the Sport England website for ideas. Check out things online that you can do. And also, linked to this will be keeping learning, and we'll talk about that in a subsequent film. Okay, everyone, hope that helps, and keep safe.